to Connect with Christina. Joining me today is Adrian Brown with TechMe Solutions.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
I have to ask right off the bat, why is it called TechMe Solutions? And then also tell them what exactly it is you do.
So the reason I chose TechMe Solutions, because I thought it was kind of cheesy to think of what do I want to incorporate the name and how do I want to bring it into the business? And I noticed the biggest problem when it came to tech support as a whole was that on-demand service. And so I realized, okay, people like texting when they want something quickly done right then and there. So I thought, tech problems, tech me. It was a little cheesy, but that's not like my go-to slogan now. So whenever people ask me, I'm like, just tech me. And then they always kind of get it, and they think it's kind of,
I think it's brilliant.
It's catchy,
Yeah.
That's why I was like, I think I'm going to just roll with that.
And it's true.
I'm hoping so. I mean, yeah, that's the goal with it, is like pushing pretty much tech support as a whole. I mean, we do IT servicing, as I pushed pretty much to all my business owners out there. I was like, okay, IT servicing, we do pretty much from the networks, the ground basis. You got wires hanging out with nothing there. We do that all the way to the point where we put all the computers, TVs, whatever you want in your office into that office. We pretty much make dreams come true is what we try to say. So.
Well, yeah, because without the computers, you can't really function these days. So, and I'm one of them. Like, I'm spoiled. I don't know. I had to learn how to use a remote. Don't laugh, but like that's really a thing because I was spoiled, But I have a lot of questions today. But I did want to ask, how did you end up doing this field and starting this own company? I mean, you're a young entrepreneur, so big shout out to that. I have a 25-year-old that's also a young entrepreneur. And she just started her own mobile coffee.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
You'll meet her soon. But it's a mindset, right? Yeah. So like, how did you get here at such a young age? And why tech and why IT?
Lots of ups and downs. I think it started probably because I was already kind of engulfed in tech. And that's some of my body art kind of explains that, and I can go all into it. But it almost felt like it was my calling, passion that I didn't realize I had. And then it just kind of pulled me in. And so like a lot of my family, we come from a lower income family. So it's very, they don't have all the latest and greatest technology. And seeing my parents do well for themselves and finally kind of dig themselves into the newer stuff, it was nice to see that. But even themselves were like, I don't even know how to do any of this stuff.
Yeah.
And so what I started to do was just self-teach myself this stuff. So I wanted to build my first computer, which was my goal. And so when I was like 16 going on 17, I used all my money and I worked my butt off and I went and worked like 3 jobs just so I can build my own computer.
That's pretty cool.
My dream was like, I'm such a gamer. I want to put this computer together.
And you did that?
I did.
At 16?
Yeah, by myself too. I mean, I obviously with the help of Google and YouTube, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this and make this happen. And I did. And I realized that it was something that not everyone knew how to do. And so I started to just help out with family, help out with little things, putting cameras up, upgrading the internet situation because, internet is crucial for schooling. A lot of people don't know that, but a lot of newer school tech, they're moving it to the internet, and some homes didn't even have good internet connection. So I would go around and help my friends make sure they had a good, stable connection so they could connect and use our Google Docs or whatever we had connected.
Were you doing that through COVID too? Because obviously...
I was actually a COVID graduate.
Well, you are.
Yeah, so I graduated high school right when COVID hit.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I got even more questions now. Oh, boy.
So that's what made me realize that it's going to be a necessity going forward. It's 100% a necessity. And with my business, I realized there's no on-demand mobile service to come to you. COVID painted that picture to me. We need that. Everyone went to go work at home, but what if they're at home and they need the help?
Right.
And so that's what my target was.
Yeah, because you can't work. Like
exactly.
I can't work,
My mom called me all the time when the internet would go out. I'm like, okay, I'll be right over there. We'll make sure everything's good. Same thing.
I'm going to start charging you, Mom.
That's what my dad says. He's like, you charge us all. I don't care. I'm like, you guys are family. It's my blood. I would never charge them. But it's been like my calling pretty much since then. They're all like, oh, we need your help doing this, doing that, doing that. And then it went from just my family to friends of friends to business owners to just your average mom.
So when was the light bulb? When did that light bulb come on when you're like, you know what? This is my actual career now. Because you've been doing it since age 16.
Gotta say, when I got some job offers, I started working at ASU. I was working doing what I do now, pretty much the IT situation for all the restaurants, all the different like shopping places they had there. And it showed me that the corporate side of IT was really, really underappreciated. They underfunded it, especially after COVID, after sending everyone home. They didn't really want to have big IT departments, so they underfunded it greatly. And then when they went and hired me, they were like, oh, he's just a kid. And I mean, that's probably my biggest thing is I really, really, when people are like, he's just a kid, I'm like, oh,
you have no idea.
You don't even know where my mind could take you if
Yeah.
you just trusted me and didn't look at my age.
Underestimated. Yeah.
And I get that a lot, which I understand. I'm not opposed to it, but I'm also like, but don't you want a young guy to work on your tech? You want someone who's...
Well, you just need a chance, too.
Yeah, that's all I ask for sometimes. Just give me a chance. And you've seen how people, when they talk to me after a week, they're like...
Right. How do you know as much as you know?
Yeah. And it's just because I'm hungry. I love learning. That's probably my favorite thing is learning new things. Is like,
right.
I know that's a part of the career, so I'm constantly reading. I'm constantly online just trying to find the latest and greatest stuff. And it's like, that fuels me. That's what, if I didn't have the ability to continue learning using the internet, I don't think I would be happy in my life, honestly.
So you mentioned gaming. So were you a big gamer?
Oh, yeah.
So then do you think that there's a direct correlation to that? Like, are there other gaming, kids out there that should like consider tech as a...
100%. That's actually my target. Like when it comes to hiring employees, before I was like, oh, I'll take IT guys out of college or people who are they got certified and they want a job. But now I'm kind of like,
let me help my old me.
Exactly. Let me help kids that were in my spot too. People who were in the same spot as me and they love the technology and they had this passion behind video games, but now they want to do something with it. And yes, it's not the exact job. You're not sitting there working on video games, but you're working on creating that same life for other people.
Right.
And then they slowly start to see how technology gets involved in everything, not just gaming. It's also involved with work. And just your average person's like home, for example. That's something new we're stepping into and just doing home upgrades, getting partnered with big companies, doing security systems and all those kinds of things. So now
it really can evolve to a lot of things.
Exactly. It's because technology's everywhere.
Right. So then, when we have kids in high school or the parents are like, all you do is be a gamer, then you can be like, well, one day I'm going to be like Adrian.
I always tell them that. Every time I go to every time I have a new home client, oh, my kid's just gaming upstairs. I'm like, trust me, just let them do it. Let them breathe. Let their mind kind of get cultivated in the game.
So this is for our parents right now that's hearing this, that's like a little bit nervous about their kids, like, not amounting to anything because they're gaming. Mm-hmm. Here's your proof right here that it can, end up being this way, a whole career.
Yes, I agree. I mean, don't get me wrong. Education's important. I will push that.
Of course.
If gaming is affecting the education, yes, draw back. That's what I had to do a few times where I realized, I'm spending too much time on my game. Let me pull back. But
there's some rawness that comes from being a gamer.
I feel like it's the passion you build. Once you get into that field, you realize you start to gain this passion towards technology that you don't see.
So then you telling this and sharing this, and someone's going to hear this, this is the time where a parent can just guide, but also not just shut it down like it's not entirely the worst thing. Like this can amount to something. Exactly. And you're obviously proof of that.
I mean, would you rather than be outside not knowing where they are and going at that's what I always tell parents. Like, listen, he's here. He's not out. He's here. He's here.
That's at your house. Good point. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he's up there in the room just twiddling away. Some people are like, they yell all night. I'm like, get some soundproof foam. It'll save your ears so you don't gotta hear it all night.
You can get that on Amazon, guys.
Yep, exactly.
But so with the TechMe, right? Mm-hmm. And also congratulations. I know you're soon to be part of a BNI, which I'm a big believer of BNI.
Thank you.
And that's definitely going to open more doors for you and pave more doors or more opportunities. But what's like your goal for this company? Like, so TechMe, are you like focusing on businesses, houses, or is it all the way through, just whoever needs you? Like, what's the vision?
I want anybody and everybody to call us.
Okay.
I'm trying to build a support line that not only if you just need a quick little phone call to walk you through something or even just a whole complex, I want to do this, and this big old project in my house. I want to build something where we cover everything.
Right.
And a lot of people are tired of when they get on the phone, they wait for an hour, and then they end up on the phone with somebody with a very thick accent, and they're kind of stuck, and they're like, I don't even know what they did or help me with. And that's our goal, is to try to meet that market. It's like, how can we as people, as my team is building, how can I help them help others. That's kind of our mission, is just helping others in technology.
Well, whenever your vision leads with helping, it's always gonna work out. I do believe that. Right. And I'm always dropping new ideas on you, but I'll tell you. So my background is property management. So even that's a space you can kind of like try to focus on among other things, because in property management, right, that's the people who run apartments throughout town. And sometimes they're owned, operated, sometimes they're fee managed. And when the IT goes down, usually they have like an internal person, they'll troubleshoot it over the phone, but sometimes they don't. But they cannot, it's detrimental to them to not have their systems in place, because they have to collect rent, move in people, move out people. It's all time sensitive. So that's probably something you need to look into, is also property management, because you could definitely be a vendor and add value. So that's another one.
But that's the thing, is I'm over here as a 22-year-old little boy, is how they see it, like 22-year-old kid coming up saying, don't worry, we can handle it all. And they're looking at me like, but I got 15 different properties with 5 employees at each property. You can handle all of those, but think about how often you need tech support.
Right.
I'm trying to tell them, cut the contracts. You're on some monthly contract paying way more than you would pay us for an hour of our time to go out and fix it, and you'll be fine for 6 months.
Well, now they're going to know about you.
That's the
and
goal.
I'll be the first to say.
That's why I love you, Christina, because you've been building my confidence to be like, you know what, you're right. I'm pushing it out there. I got to get it out there.
Age is just a number, Adrian. And now when people need IT, they have to call Christina now, and then I call you and tell them, go over here, right? But I did not know you're a graduate of COVID. I'm interested in knowing, like, that's like, I told Justin, like, there's so much that I want to bring forward and like talk about, because obviously we're past it and people just, because we're busy, you forget. Like, that was a crazy time. So how old were you when you were going through that portion?
I was 17, actually. So I graduated at 17 because I was one of the...
In high school.
Yeah.
So walk us back. Like, what do you remember from COVID?
I remember it being kind of this weird little love-hate, because I was going through a lot at that time. It was my senior year of high school. Super excited, just like any senior would be. So I was all excited for all the opportunities to come. And I was actually a part of this business group called DECA. I don't know if
I was part of DECA.
I love
Shout
DECA.
out DECA.
DECA was like my life, my bloodline. Everything I did was that club. I pulled back on everything else. I wasn't really doing sports as much anymore. I've always been athletic, but I was like, DECA was my every day I lived and breathed that club. And I actually went to state, and I actually placed first place in my category, and I was super excited. And then COVID happened, and I knew I was going to nationals, but then it all went away because of COVID. And it's kind of just like, it felt like that empty hole. You know what I mean? Like, I knew I was going to go do more with business and do more with that, but it just got taken away. And, classes were one thing and the people were another thing. And, like, don't get me wrong, I was always very sad that I didn't get to finish and graduate in person with my friends. But it was also another wake-up call for me. Because right after that, they were like, well, everything we're doing is online. Everything we did, online. Even my whole first year of college, online. The whole thing. And I'm like, not everyone's used to adapting and learning online.
No.
But that was where I thrived.
Right.
I was not like, don't get me wrong, I was good in person in classes, but I don't know what it was when they sent me home and they said, go learn it online on a computer. I was like, okay, not a problem for me. I can handle that. That's easy.
Yeah.
I found out there was a lot of people who do struggle with that.
Right.
So,
I would. 100%.
Really?
I could not be disciplined enough to do that. My youngest daughter, Lana, she thrived. She just, it was like easy, and I don't know if it's the age gap and like the relationship you have with technology at a young age, but me, no way. I will want to be out, and like, I'm like what is that called? Like, I learn by actually doing things, and I need to be in person. I don't know about Justin. Justin, do you think you can handle that? No. Yeah, and I'm older than him, but like that generation, I don't think it'll be easy.
Well,
and they had to do it anyway.
Yeah. My sister struggles with it, and she's younger than me.
Yeah, okay.
I looked at her, I'm like, it's a necessity. I'm sorry, but we got to find a way to like kind of at least push you a little bit more to push it. But she's, she's young, and I get it. Take your time. I'm not going to force her to do nothing, but I kind of spoon feed it at her, like, oh, hey, go look this up. Or, hey, use ChatGPT. It'll help you do this. Or, hey, use this, do this.
Right.
She's starting to get it, but...
Yeah.
You to each their own is how I always say.
So how do you think COVID affected you, if any?
I would say it definitely had its both a positive and negative effect.
Okay.
Positive in the fact of making me get really good with my technology. It really, made me go from here to here.
Right.
I spent all my time studying the different ways of technology, different things I needed to know, how I had to program computers, the different security methods, all kinds of just different in detailed stuff. Compared to the negative, I would say was I lost a lot of my people skills, 100%. My people skills kind of dramatically dropped. I lost a lot of friends. My friend group went from big to maybe 3 people, and even then, those 3 people I'd see maybe once every few months. So I realized that my people skills were lacking, and then coming out of COVID, I was like, well, now what? Like, I don't have any friends to go anywhere. I have nothing to do. What do I do? And that's kind of why I started my business. I was like, well, do something with it. Don't just take the advantage of your free time. And my dad was the one, shout out to him. I love and respect that man for everything he's given me.
Attorney Alex Brown.
He's definitely, around that time was when he opened his first office. And he was the first one that actually saw the potential that I had at such a young age and said, fine, you do my office. And I didn't just do it, I blew it out the water. My goal was like, you know what, he's trusting me. I'm going to blow it out the water. I'm going to make sure he's the most high-tech and advanced lawyer that there is in town.
Wow.
And yeah, it took some convincing, but he slowly kind of started to get to see the picture. And now, if you ask him, he never has any issues just because he knows if I ever do, I just give him a call. And it's as simple as that. And even he barely even calls me for help because what I like to do is educate him on it as we're doing it. As I'm teaching him, hey, let's do this. Let me educate you on how to use it. Right. And I tell my guys the same thing, like, hey, we're not just here to fix it. We're here to educate it. And it's changing that break-fix model. We're like, yeah, something's broken and we just fixed it, but let's show them how they can kind of avoid this or even build that longevity with what they're going through. Right. So
that's huge.
Education's huge, I feel like, especially in technology because...
When it's ever-changing.
Exactly.
Right? And then I feel like now, even in the PI space, is you can basically be another resource of, hey, like, let's get you up to date. You know, let's not just fix what's broken, but let's also see if I can make...
And get you HIPAA compliant. That's a big deal. I'm noticing that as I go around, a lot of offices are backdated and they don't realize that HIPAA compliance changed.
Like even with I just got reminded about something with like the mass emails, you know, because I told you my tech site's not the strongest either. And I got reminded that, wait, you actually have to have disclaimers when you do that, you know? Is that like part of what you're talking about?
Everything. I'm talking from your computer too. If you have a computer that's even older than 5 years old, the new HIPAA compliance regulates that you have to have some kind of biometric identity to protect your computers.
Okay, well, you heard that first right here.
And a lot of those computers don't. I mean, you've seen it. I think it was, what is it, probably like within the last 5-6 years that they started adding the fingerprint or the Face ID on the computers. If your office doesn't have that, you're falling behind on HIPAA compliance. And you're just one audit away from kind of...
Can you be fined for that?
Yeah.
You can?
You can be.
Okay,
That's the new HIPAA compliance. A lot of doctors, like, they find their way around it, which is how I love learning the new doctors. Well, every time I go to a doctor's office, I'm like, I see how you've gotten around it. It's smart. They do cloud-based filing systems, which is something we do too. We like to say, hey, let's get everything.
But you only know what you know, right? So if this is like your niche and you're good at this, like there's no need or to guess because your services is mobile too. Right. So
completely. There's no brick and mortar. There's no, I need to take it somewhere. No, we come to you.
Right.
We show up wherever you do your work and we sit there and follow you and see how you do your work, and we tell you if we can either make it better or what we can fix from it.
Right.
A lot of people don't realize there is holes in their technology. They don't know.
Can you even imagine having to take your computer somewhere, like a desktop and like oh my gosh, that's good that you go.
I used to do it all the time and I hated it. 2-week downtime. I worked at computer stores too in high school, and I remember showing up and just seeing shelves of months and months of computers. Like, how are they not over here breaking the doors down to get their computer back?
Right, right.
Then it made me realize there's a need for it. Not everyone knows that you can get a computer fixed within just a few days, especially if it's just one part. We can get it ordered and we'll have it back in a few days. Or even I leave it there and say, hey, we'll be back. We'll just come back, install real quickly, and you'll be up and running again. So that's kind of the new model I like to fix it.
I mean, sitting here, my brain is just telling me all the ways your flyers and advertising should be like formatted because there's so many points. Like you can literally do like a sweep and like get all the offices up to date, educate them. Also, question, are you currently or plan on doing like tutorial classes where they can pay for your time and you can just have
right now. My dad's been telling me the same thing.
Yeah, like a troubleshooting, like, hey.
It's something I've thought of, but my mind is so like, I'm trying to build this more like, because I'm very logical. I'm learning my different communication styles and different people and how they benefit me. And I'm 100%, I'm realizing I'm just a very logical person. And I would love to do that, but it's like I need that person that can appeal to empathy to like help me find a way to take my logical speaking and flip it. So
yeah, but I think that there's something there. We'll come back to that, and then you got me going on this. So
hey, I'd be more than happy to do a little speak here and there if you want, if you're interested. That's something that's what I love doing. Like I said, I love educating. So
yeah. Well, and then now your BNI chapter is going to be so lucky to have you because I'm telling you right now, everyone needs what you have to offer. Everyone. I don't care how massive, how small, your law firm, your doctor's office, your whatever you are, you're going to need it at some point or another, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like, it's good that you're mobile.
Yeah, that's the goal. I mean, stay that way too.
Yeah. Well, I'm so proud of you and I'm excited for what's ahead. Sorry, Pierre's making a lot of noise back there. But obviously, I know your dad and I too love and respect him because he's been a good friend of mine. He's one of the first lawyers I've met. Really? I don't know if you know that. One of the very first people I've ever met. I randomly met him at a golf tournament and we've just stayed in touch, and he knows I'm here for him and I know he's there for me. But I want to ask you, like, how profound was his role in your life? Because you are so ahead for your years and you can see that.
I mean, he was mentor number one for me. I always tell him that I'm like, you were my start and I will always credit you for that. There would be no TechMe Solutions or even me if it wasn't for how much he's pushed me to be confident in myself and understand that what I do isn't something that's common. And he pushed that at me. He was like, just understand that, keep pushing
and embracing it.
Exactly. Yeah. Just be out there, get known, get your name out there, get recognized, be aware of just how much you fill a need that people don't even see. And he's even teaching me ways of, like, not only was he my mentor, but he was also my first person I had to find a way to convince him on pretty much everything I did for him. I had to educate him.
Stubborn, which that's all of us.
And that's why I'm so glad that even the most stubborn of the way he is, he's a very strict and very broad guy. And I would say probably the most out of all my clients, the most stubborn. Still love you, Dad, but you're very stubborn. And it taught me that, if I can get through to him, I can get through to anybody.
Right. You can help any type of personality.
Exactly.
And I'll circle back to that again because I'm not done with that. But for, right now it's graduation time soon. A lot of kids don't know what they want to do. And I just feel like looking back, that's okay. I mean, obviously I have my own different upbringing and culture and it's all different for people, but I think that it's okay to not know what you're going to do and to really kind of take this time to know what that is instead of just jumping into something causing a high loan for something you don't even want to do. So speak to those people graduating this 2025 and they don't know what to do. Like, what's your advice?
Take your time. I mean, there's no rush. Honestly, even me, myself, I had my troubles in college. I went in and out, but I realized that there's really no rush to it. You find your passion and you follow it. And if you rush it, you're going to choose something you don't want and you're going to regret it later. And your goal is to be happy and feel passionate about what you do and do the work proficiently, not just doing it like a robot. And that's what a lot of people fall into, is just falling into this robot state. You don't want to do that.
Right.
Be passionate, be happy. The happier you are doing your work, the better work you'll be.
Right. In life.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you're right. Like, take your time because at least, like, some people, they think like, oh my gosh, it's so bad that you don't know what you want. But it's like, no, it's not bad. It's good. Lean into it and figure it out. Like, and it shouldn't be someone else's choice. It should be your choice. Exactly. It's your life.
No matter the pressure.
Yeah.
A lot of people feel pressure from their parents. I did too, but put that all away.
Well,
Right.
even that too, like be careful where you're getting that advice and receiving it because, you know, parents, not all, but most are, you know, like really great parents, you know, and mean well. But like, just be careful that you're not around other people trying to feed their own insecurities, you know, onto you and making you like question yourself.
That's another good point. Surround yourself by people that bring you up.
Yeah.
If you're in that spot where you don't know what to do, find the people that'll help you do that. I
Yeah.
feel like, you know, that's been a recent lesson of mine that I wish I would have done this just 2 years ago. I wish I would have reached out to you, got to know all these amazing mentors in my life. And like, it's something that, you know, if I would have known that just 2 years ago, I feel like I wouldn't have made as many mistakes as I have at 18.
But I think that it's okay. I personally think that that was all meant to be. It's all by design because all those mistakes taught you lessons and those lessons brought you to now.
Very true.
So,
Very true.
right? But I two things because no one leaves here without me torturing them. But before I even get to that, we're gonna add your company to our preferred vendor list. And then there's a friend of mine that has a group just for mobile, anything mobile, mobile PT, mobile Cairo, mobile anything, barbers, all that. You know. Oh, yes, mobile podcasting. My producer, little shout out, JB. You know, and it's powerful. Like Tom and Morgan, they have a mobile Cairo. My friend Debbie Vigilante has mobile PT, and it's just such a great service. But there's this little community that you can belong to, and it's all mobile. So we'll kind of connect you to that. Cool. But I don't know which one I want to do first. So maybe I want you to leave yourself a message that you're going to see in 5 years because I want to see where your head is today and where you think you're going to be. And like leave the message to Adrian so that Adrian knows, one, few goals, but mainly that when life gets tough, like what is Adrian supposed to do?
Every time you're down, stop doubting yourself. Keep believing in yourself. Build your self-confidence and remind yourself that you're here for a reason, doing this for a reason. Don't stop. Keep going. Follow your dreams and keep your goals in mind and continue to build on those goals as you achieve them because once you achieve them, there's going to be more. And just keep setting those goals higher and higher and higher just so that there's no stop to it. I feel like that's something that if you live and breathe off of, you'll be fine. And don't forget, the reason you're doing the whole thing is because you're here to help people. That's the point.
I love that. And if there's anyone who can do it, it's you. No doubt about it. And so before we say bye, I want to take this chance for you to leave your dad a sincere message to thank him because I know he really was a profound part of your life. So, and this is a memory and a video he will forever have.
Dad, I truly do want to thank you for everything you've done. You've been a very strong and stand-up figure in my life that I don't think I would ever replace. I would never choose anybody over you. And I respect you. And everything you've done has been nothing but everlasting to me in my eyes. I hope you know that for the end of the days, I carry on the idea that, you know, we are the start of our family name and we will carry that through as much as you know, we never saw that nurturing and love from your father. I would like to show that I will always remember that and I will never forget it.
Wow. Well, Alex, you're going to see this and I want to tell you, good job raising this kid right here, who's a man who's far ahead of his years. So, guys, if you need IT, there's your guy right here. There's no reason to look for anyone else. Remind them how to get a hold of you and we are out of here.
You can call my phone number at 623-258-9845. That's subject to change, I should mention. Or you can go to our website at techmesolutions.tech, which is new. I love that part, the .tech.
Say it again.
techmesolutions.tech, which will have up-to-date everything. It'll be where you can schedule it. You don't even have to call us if you want to just go on there and find us and schedule a time. You can do everything there. It'll show all the different services and how you can get a hold of us.
Until next time.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye.